Right.
What do you think we should talk about?
Well, let's talk about our we just had a conversation that was really interesting. We had a moment where I felt very insecure and had to figure out how to talk about it because it was more of an in-depth conversation. And then I regretted going back to it after I said, there's a moment here. And then I still couldn't think, and I was trying to find it, and I was just, everything inside me was like, fuck, I got myself into a pickle here. I need to move on, get out of it. And but eventually, you came up with an idea that kind of made sense, and that helped me.
What idea? The idea, what you're saying, what I analyzed it to be?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to dig. I was interested in the fact that happened and that you shared it with me.
Yeah. I think that was actually what was helpful, was sharing that something had occurred.
Yes, that's the whole thing.
That was what it was. It was like I have moments and that's what happened. My therapist says I have PTSD, and I had a PTSD moment.
Oh, right.
And that was what that would be. It was like when I go blank a little bit, I start to fear. I feel a fear that's beyond the nature of the incident that I'm within, and so that was what occurred. So then saying it, and you maybe tying it into exactly what it was, which is the snow plowing of the parenting style. Yeah, that's why this has been a thing for me.
But we got to that.
We did.
Which is cool. Tune in for sure. You're going to hear some stuff, which is
might be
good.
really interesting or not. It might not be.
It is interesting.
At least was interesting in our head.
I think it was for sure interesting, and so will everybody else. Yes. You can listen to the whole conversation, of course, on the podcast, on any podcast app. You could even listen on YouTube. Did you know that?
That's a new thing.
You can listen.
YouTube? You can listen on YouTube?
You can turn it on YouTube. It'll be a still picture of you and me.
Is that all podcasts or just your thing?
I think a lot of them, but not all. But we can just send it out to YouTube, and some people actually listen there.
Sure.
But not that many. But you can listen
it's
on
all for free, too. That's the issue.
That is the issue.
You should do, like, do they ever do that thing where, like, we are asking for donations like they do for NPR or whatever?
I did that at the beginning, and I didn't like doing it. I mean, there are still some people who do donate, and I give them a shout out on a lot of the shows. But it just doesn't feel great to me.
Yeah, I
is that weird?
For money. That's why I was working with this homeless organization. Oh, did we even talk about my thing?
We didn't, but we're still recording, so it can go right in.
So
tell me about this. You were telling me at the beginning about a new project that you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my project. It's just something I'm a part of. It's called Homeward Bound. Homeward Bound LA. And the creator is named Jason Lesner, and it's a series of monologues written based on real stories of people who have been homeless, and it's a yearly project. And these show of monologues are done in 50 to 80 productions all around LA over a 3-week period. The money goes to the Midnight Mission in downtown LA in Skid Row. And this year I wrote one, and last year I acted in one, and we're doing an event coming up. But what I wanted to say about that was connected to what we were just talking about was what were we just talking about before this came up?
We were talking about making money on the podcast, right?
Oh yeah. So I started to
donations.
I started to volunteer for this for LA Family Housing, which is a great organization in LA, and I would just do a bunch of different things. And it was a great experience, and I loved it. And then they were like, do you want to MC our event? And I was like, sure. I was like, I kind of just I like the volunteering thing, but sure, I'll do it. I did it. And at the time I was doing a movie that I produced and co-wrote and acted in, and called Breakpoint. And the producer is somebody with a lot of money. And I sent out an email to everyone like, hey, you should come to the thing. He sent a donation of like $50,000.
Ooh.
And so suddenly they thought I was like this player. I was like, I don't have a lot of, I'm not billionaire friends. I'm not, but they thought like, oh, this guy's a hidden asset. So they asked me to be on the board. So I'm like, I don't know what that means. I was like, sure, that sounds important. It sounds cool. And I'd come down, and then the meetings were, half the meeting was like kind of lip service, a half an hour of how the thing was doing and taking suggestions. And then the rest was like doing stuff like write down on a piece of paper the name of someone, how much you think you can get from them by this time. And these are just like my buddies that I'm like, be really uncomfortable doing this. And then they'd send me at one point they sent me like a PDF with like the names of my friends, how much money I thought I could get out of them, by what date. And I was calling them. I was like, you have to delete this. I mean, that's awful. And so shortly after I was like, listen, it's not, the board thing is not for me.
Yeah.
It is, so that was.
I would not like that at all. That's very awkward.
It's a great thing. Listen, I mean, there's a woman on there that
some people are good at it too, by the way.
And she raises most of the money, and she has friends, but she's got a community. She goes to their events. She puts money into theirs. They put money into hers.
And
it's
it makes sense.
Thing. I'm just not good. It makes me very sweaty and hot. And
all right. You know what? I didn't ask you my big question. I'm not going to. I'm going to save it for next time because we're going to come back on the podcast.
A sequel.
The sequel.
Ongoing series.
Jeremy
an
Sisto
anthology
sequel.
series.
So make sure you stay tuned. Just, I'm going to ask you one quick question.
Yeah.
What's your weirdest habit?
My weirdest habit. That I'm comfortable saying right at this moment. I should add. My weirdest habit? Let me see here. Well, I guess it's kind of a weird habit is I play basketball a lot and I play in gyms with pickup places, but sometimes I'll listen to music, and everyone who listens to music when they play basketball listens to like rap and like hard, but I listen to like this like folk or like classical, like really soft, like emotional music. I listen to the same thing when I'm like working out.
Name a song.
Well, let's say I listen to Sade or like I can't think of something else that's funny, but in just a, what's that guy's name? Like Iron and Wine or something, where it's just like, and then that's kind of funny.
All right.
Just because
that's not that weird, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, I've got some weirder ones, but that's the weirdest I'm willing to go right now.
I'll take it.
We've done a lot here today. Okay.
I'll have to wait for the sequel for that.
Exactly.